Hello, welcome to Clear Vision. Today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways to improve your mental health, to improve the health of your mind. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps me keep making videos, helps me keep bringing information. And if you want to leave some feedback in the comment section, please do so. And if there's something you want to hear about or hear my experience of or my insights of, please share it and I will do a video for it. So, without any more messing around, 5 ways to start having a more healthy mind. This gets thrown around the internet and various forums all of the time, but they are vitally important, and I always ask clients when they first start with me and during the process some of these questions, so or how they're approaching some of these things. So the first one is, often when people become overwhelmed or they're suffering with certain issues or they're a little bit dysfunctional, your sleep pattern goes out. So first thing is to get regular sleep, to try to wake up at the same time every morning, to go to bed at the same time every evening. Sleep is important. The experts say about around 6 to 8 hours for most adults. Everybody's an individual. Find what suits you. Once you get your sleep in some kind of regular pattern, things already start moving for you. Things already start to change. First of all, you'll have a little bit more energy, and second of all, you'll be able to cope with a little bit more stress. You'll be able to not take on quite so much that comes at you in the world, because you're getting good sleep. You're beginning to regulate your body, and that's really important. Before you even talk about what's going on, it's really important to get regular sleep. The next thing would be diet, and it's a cliche, but it's true. You are what you eat. If you eat high sugar, processed, shitty foods, I'm going to be really blunt, you're going to feel that way. You're going to have sugar spikes, you're going to feel greasy, oily, etc, etc. I'm not an advocate of, don't get me wrong, I don't eat healthy all the time, and I'm not an advocate of, you know, a really strict diet. Eat the things that you enjoy, but sometimes you need to limit some things. And if you are and I'll share this one, I can get on a bit of a caffeine trip sometimes. So I'm busy chucking coffee down my neck, running on caffeine, running on adrenaline, maybe for a couple of weeks, and I have to really pull myself back and check. You know, it's like, okay, so why is everything buzzy? Why is everything fuzzy? Why? It's because you're drinking lots of coffee. You know, and the end result of that is, you know, everything's heightened, and then there are big lows. So, I mean, there are numerous videos. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's on YouTube as well, talking about dopamine hits and things, dopamine spikes with sugary foods, caffeine, and actually what it does to the brain. So you are what you eat, unfortunately. It's really shit. So plenty of fresh food if you can get it. Regular meals, healthy meals. Don't overeat, don't overindulge. I guess actually the Chinese saying of everything in moderation is a good one to apply there. So that's number 2. Move the body around. It doesn't have to be heavy down the gym, lifting weights, running on the treadmill, or going for jogs or whatever, or cycling. Just get some exercise. Get a little bit of exercise every day. Get a little bit of exercise every day. It gets the blood moving, gets the heart pumping, gets the endorphins flowing, gets minerals and things flowing around the body. Again, search on YouTube. There's a ton of stuff, a ton of videos and information out there about it. If you can't do 30 minutes, do 20 minutes. If you can't do 20 minutes, do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5. You know, maybe walk up the stairs to your apartment or to your house or whatever. Make sure you do it. Take the dog out. I don't know, whatever it is that you need to do, go for a walk. Like I say, it doesn't have to be intense. You know, I used to, years ago, I used to hit the gym, I used to hit the bikes. Now I do a lot of yoga. I do some walking. You know, it's whatever suits you, whatever works for you, but a little bit of exercise really can make a difference. Going backwards, exercise will help regulate your sleep because you will be physically a little bit more tired, but it will also help regulate your day because exercise actually boosts your energy because it begins to regulate your sleep. So everything starts to get linked, and the more you regularly take exercise, the more you will actually begin to feel how, again, going backwards to point number 2, you'll begin to feel how different foods make you feel a bit sluggish, not so great, or give you a massive boost, and you're like, well, okay, maybe you better ease off that. So number 3 would be to eat healthily as you can manage. And hey, if you want to go and have a kebab or a pizza or an ice cream, do it. You know, don't start feeling bad about it and all the rest of it. You know, we're human. We do like nice foods that aren't great for us, but again, everything in moderation. Right, number 4 would be socialize. It doesn't have to be going to big parties. It doesn't have to be big crowds, rock concerts, things like that. Go and see one friend, 2 friends, a group of friends. Have a good conversation. Share a pizza, share a drink, share some thoughts. Have a conversation. Get out there a little bit. Doesn't have to be for long. If that's not your thing, or it bothers you, or you'd rather be at home, or you run out of energy, or you're, I don't know, perhaps you're grieving, you're feeling depressed, you're anxious, whatever. Do it for a bit. Do it a little stints at a time with people you feel safe with, that you can safely leave without them going, hey, what's wrong with you? You know. So find yourself that social group, and go out there. You know, a lot of stuff with actually beginning to feel better in ourselves is a little bit of conscious pushing. You can hide and stand back, but at some point, and I like this one, but at some point in your life, or when we find ourselves in certain situations, we get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's when you then push. That's when you go, I'm going to put the left foot in front of the right foot and move my ass out of that front door, and I'm going to go and see my friend, and I'm going to have a coffee with them, a beer with them. I'm going to have a conversation with them, and I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to do it until I'm done, and then you come home. It's hard to start with, but once you get into the routine, it really works, and it gives you something to look forward to as well. And obviously some people have really active social lives, some people exercise loads, etc, etc. But if you find yourself, these are 5 tips, remember, it's just 5 tips to get yourself a bit unstuck, or move things in a different direction if you feel you're stagnating, or things have got overwhelming and you're kind of sitting at home and you've had enough and you want to move it somehow, but you don't know what to do. And the last one, because that was number 4, so number 5, I lose count sometimes, it would be to journal. I'll do another video on this, but to journal, to write things down, write thoughts down. If you have a busy head, you know, you've been to work, you're busy, you've got work in your head, then write it down, you know, whatever it is. Don't censor it. Don't censor it. Don't try and get the spelling right. Don't try and not say bad things. Just get it out. And if you've got other things and other thoughts, again, journal. But also within your journal, try to look at positives as well, what you've achieved. You know, hey, you know what, today I did this, and today my boss came to me and said something, and I said no, I'm going home at this time because that's the time I go home, and I felt so nervous doing it, but I did it, you know. Or I said no to my partner or to a family member. That's one example. Or you know, today I did this whole route that I promised myself I'd do, and you know what, 3 months ago I couldn't even get a quarter of the way around it. So acknowledge. I think we often look at the negatives, and it's really important. Empty the mind out with journaling, and if you're doing that, also acknowledge how far you've come. And it's great to reflect back on, because often we don't recognize or appreciate how far we've come. You know, hey, I was in this place a few months ago, or a week ago, or a year ago, and look at where I am now. Wow, I need to. And if you write it down, you kind of cement it in your mind. It stays with you. You know, it kind of brings it into reality, rather than just being a kind of loose acknowledgement at the back of your mind. It's like, I did this. I have moved from this point to this point. So those are my 5 tips for a healthier mind, get you moving again. I hope they've helped. Please like and subscribe, and share any of your comments and any of your feedback. And I'll see you on the next video.